Hi divas, welcome to my living room. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. Let's get straight into how to protect your beautiful curly hair in the winter and in the summer. Before we get into each season, I really highly recommend and advise you to, if you haven't already, seek out a curly hair specialist. I know they cost a lot of money, but they really are worth it, even if you go to them only once a year, which is not what they would recommend. But the right curly hair specialist will really change your life and your curls life, and will help you to better navigate through looking after and dealing with your beautiful hair. It's hard to find a curly hair specialist in some places, but ever since quarantine, people are more open to communicating via a web-based setting. So it is the perfect time to, if you are in an area where there is no curly hair specialist, just reach out, see if you can have a consultation with someone, even if it's digital. Now, I'm all for doing things myself. I really don't like to go to someone if I can do it myself, but there are some things that it is much better to have a specialist have their hands in it at least once, and curls are one of those things. So let's get into how to protect these curls in the winter. Winter time is really a crucial period for most of us. For me specifically, I'm from California and I've been living over in Europe for years and years, and the countries where I live are nothing like California in terms of the weather and a whole bunch of other things. But because of that, I've really had to deal with the troubles that winter brings. And it's not just the winter, because for example, I'm living in Ireland right now and the weather is kind of crazy year-round. So I have to think about protecting my hair all of the time. When it is winter, when it's the really cold months, those are the periods where I have to take certain action so that my hair doesn't break off, doesn't get regularly windswept, and ultimately doesn't get damaged. The very best thing to do for your curls is one that I think many of you wouldn't be happy to do. I personally am not happy to do it, and this is why. I love my curls so much. I feel so much more me when they're out and when they're down and flowing. I feel more comfortable and I just love my hair out. But when you wear your hair out regularly, you are opening it up to damage. This can be from your bag. You put your backpack on or you put your purse on and your hair catches and you're breaking it off. It's the same with it rubbing on the back of your neck or just the back if it's longer. You are opening your hair up to more damage. And as most of us know, these parts of our hair are the oldest part. This is probably 5 years old at this point. So this is the part that's more susceptible or most susceptible to damage. And as pretty as it looks to me out, I have a stronger chance of my hair being damaged from wearing it out all the time, specifically in the winter. So in the winter, what I recommend is wearing your hair up as much as possible or wearing it in a protective style. What's handy for me in the winter is an apparatus like this, which is the classic chopstick. Chopsticks are great to use because they limit the possibility of our hair breaking out. Even with a fabric hair tie, they can break off. So a chopstick allows for me to put my hair up in situations if I'm leaving the house to get the train or to go to the shop or anything like that. I can just quickly put my hair up and protect it from the elements. Messy buns are always super cute. If your hair is moisturized and good shape when you put it up, you can still tell you a curly girl. So it's definitely a go-to in the winter. And you want to think about doing this the majority rather than only sometimes. Something else that I like to do in the winter is to keep a scarf in my backpack, because a lot of the times when I am walking home, I walk home from work, it'll be nice and then it just starts raining and it's windy and there's no chance of my umbrella staying up. So what I like to do is put my hair up in this knot and to wrap my hair in a scarf just to protect it further. I normally keep 2 scarves with me. This is my satin one, which is the most comfortable for just protecting my hair. But it's not the most fashionable, so this is more of one to sleep in or to protect if it's really bad and I've got my hood on and I'm just walking miserably. Another option is a prettier scarf, which really doesn't make a difference for me because my scarf game is off. I do not know how to make these look cute on me, so it pretty much looks exactly the same as the other one. But having these 2 in my bag during the winter is vital, because no matter what's happening with the elements, my hair is protected underneath. Curly girls in the winter, we need our tools. Now, on the days when you're wearing your hair down, it's a good curly hair day and you don't want to put it up, what you need is a satin rimmed hat or a hat with a satin insert. I prefer the latter because if I ever do want to change hats, I like to have the option of putting a satin lining in before that. This is actually my favorite hat. If you watched me go through my bags, you know that this is the one that's always in there. I don't really change anything. I'm kind of boring in that sense. If I love something, that sticks with me. But Mick likes to buy me winter hats, like just randomly, so in case there is one that I really love, I like having a satin insert. I actually at the time couldn't find a satin insert, so I begged my mom when she came to visit to make me one. She's a brilliant seamstress. She actually made me a satin lined hat, which I don't really wear. Sorry, Mom. But she had some scraps left over from that hat that she made. They were just the most minimal amount of scraps. But what she did is she put together a satin lining for me, which I love. And so this always goes inside this hat, which I wear, or if I do happen to have another hat, this always goes in first. That way my hair is kind of protected. This, like I said earlier, is the most important part. This is really what you want to protect. So doing something like this, yeah, it stops you from getting rained on, but you still want to protect these ends. So if I do have a particularly nice curly hair day, I can just stick my hat and my liner on like this, or I can stick my chopstick in, which girls, if you haven't got a chopstick, get you a chopstick, lifesaver. And then I can stick the hat on, which again, I may not look the cutest, but my hair is protected, and that's the point. And that's something that I didn't fully understand when I first started to embrace my curls. I wanted them out so much, and the thought of them not being showcased was like, no, I don't want to do that. But if you're anything like me, drop all that cute stuff and protect your hair in the winter. Now we on to the summertime, baby. Summertime. It's actually very close to summer at the point of filming this video. I am going through a attempt at long hair retention. So my routine is very different from what it normally is in terms of a wash and go every week. At the moment, I have been wearing my hair up in 4 twists every single day. I only take it out on wash day, which happens to be the same day I come and talk to you all. So for protecting my hair in the summer, it is different than in the winter because I like to equate my hair like I do with my plants. And when it comes to this time of the year, they are very thirsty, of course, because they're waking up, they're branching out. It is their period to be be nourished. It's where they get all their nutrients and all of their moisture. So I like to do the same for my hair. Hopefully by this point next year I can come and show you really long hair like below my breast, and you can adopt these same methods. But even if my hair doesn't get as long as I'm hoping for, I really hope that you all can try some of these methods so that you can really look after your hair in the summertime when it needs a lot of love. Similarly to the winter time, I keep this chopstick on deck. I actually have near eliminated hair bands from my life and my routine because even with fabric ones, it's more prone to breaking than when you just stick something like this in. You have less of a chance of it getting caught or getting tangled in, and they're just really, really great. So I'd recommend getting a few of these, sticking it in your bag so that you always have one whenever you're out. Same as with winter, wearing your hair up is just a whole protection thing. Like, think about it, it's the same as in the winter. You don't want your hair rubbing on your shoulders, on your back, getting caught on your bag, getting caught on the chair when you sit down. So it's really important to keep it up as much as possible. If you do have a chopstick, you're able to keep your hair up without messing up your pattern too much. Next step for protection in the summertime for me is something that goes hand in hand with my protective style, which are the 4 twist outs that I've been doing. And because I'm focusing on hair retention, something that I am doing for the summer months, which is counterintuitive to a wash and go, is I am looking after the ends and then sealing them. Now, the reason it's counterintuitive is because with most hair types, if you already have a wash and go, just doing the ends and sealing it with a cream or like what I use, a butter, it can weigh your curls down, and then it like makes the effects of your wash and go kind of funky, a little different than how it would be if you just did your wash and go and even sealed it with an oil and left it. But it's not about pretty, it's about looking after your hair and protecting it. So what I like to do is twice a week go in with either distilled water, or this bottle has pure rose water. There's no alcohol, there's nothing like that. It's just distilled water with rose petals in it. And when I run low, I refill it with distilled water. And I like to spritz this on my ends and then seal it with that good old shea butter. I sometimes mix the shea butter with coconut oil and jojoba oil, and that just ensures that the grannies of my hair just get all the extra love that they need, especially in the drier months where they might be craving more moisture. The great thing about doing a protective style in the summer as well, especially if it's a low maintenance one like twists where it doesn't mess up your curl pattern, I can take this out and my curls look like normal for a day that I need to wear my curls out, and then I can put them right back up so that they can have their time for care and revitalization. And the final step for protection in the summertime is really just that protein moisture balance. Protein moisture is everything, and you don't want to have too much protein and you don't want to have too much moisture. Any imbalance of those and your hair will either be very dry and brittle or so soft that it becomes limp, which we don't want any of those, so we have to find a balance. There is no, to my understanding, one size fits all to figure out how to get the balance for your hair type, so it's a trial and error. For me specifically, my hair can handle a good amount of protein, so I like to give it that. But in the summer times, what I do is I mix up my protein mask for 1 week and my moisture mask for the next week. So for example, for this week, I am going to mix a conditioner with olive oil and with egg and henna, and that's gonna give it a really good protein. And then next week, I'm only gonna mix an intensive moisture conditioner with extra virgin olive oil with some Jamaican black castor oil, and I'm going to give my hair a moisture treatment. And doing that in the summertime allows me to have a better balance between protein and moisture. And those, my friends, are really just the important elements of looking after your hair all seasons. Of course, winter and summer are the biggest extremes, but you can use those in fall and in spring. And if you live in Ireland or the UK, those are pretty much all the same thing. So you can use them all year round. Remember that your curls are a gift. They're not the same as probably anybody else's. So you have to trial and error and figure out how to take care of your blessing. And while there is no one size fits all, there are certain things that all of us can do to look after our hair, and it's down to protection. Down to protection. So no matter what you do today, make sure that you protect your beautiful curls. Give them loads of love and they will give you that back and then some. Okay, beauties, it's been real. Until next time, don't forget to treat yourself. Love ya.